Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Lads Season 10 action. I am joined tonight by a special guest. It is Season 7 League of Lads champion, Overthrow 3.0 game loser, and Sand King extraordinaire, Teddy Dota. How are you tonight?
Hello. I'm pretty good. You're missing a couple titles there. I'm also a two-time League 4 champion. I'm an ex-Lads Power Hour host. And I've lost multiple TI qualifiers.
What can you do?
I've got quite the pedigree here.
Right, that's my beat for not including the very prestigious League 4. But we are here tonight for a similarly prestigious match between Boss Up and Sus. We have Boss Up, who are 6-6 on the Radiant, taking on Sus, who are 8-6 on the Dire. This Sus team, though, you are very familiar with, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm familiar with four of them. I'm not familiar with Foreplay. He hasn't added me to the Arteezy guilds. He hasn't accepted my friend request. We don't queue together.
If it makes you feel any better, I too am not Steam friends with Foreplay. He was once on my Steam friends list, and then he deleted me, so what could you do?
We played Halo once. I topped frag, and he says he forgot. He says he doesn't believe I topped frag, but I did.
I believe you, Teddy.
Yeah, you can believe a League of Lads champion and two-time League 4 champion is good at any game.
Of course, of course. Well, seems like once again we'll be seeing the Malefic Zeus tonight. We also got a Void Spirit, which is... I'm interested to see what they actually do with this Void Spirit. It's probably going to be KU's mid-hero, but I'm interested to see where it ends up going here.
I know in the past we experimented with Void Spirit as the position 1, but I don't know if they would want to run that with Foreplay playing this. If they do want to run in position 1, I guess KU can always go to the safe lane, but that'd be a bit odd.
The thing is, ordinarily, Foreplay is a big Void Spirit enthusiast, but this is Foreplay playing on, double-digit ping. Now Foreplay is playing on triple-digit ping. We're talking like 180, 200 ping for Foreplay, so playing Void Spirit on that high of a ping could be quite difficult.
See the Kunkka coming out. Is this our mid matchup here, by any chance already? Void into Kunkka?
Seems like it could be. I mean, Kunkka has a fairly decent matchup into the Void Spirit damage-wise. Obviously, killing Void Spirit is very difficult, but you just sit there, you don't die, you CS. That seems to be a very good time there for that Kunkka.
Thinking of like how Void Spirit would play that lane, he does get a pretty big damage block off his E, right? Kind of mitigating the splash damage.
I mean, to an extent, but I'm pretty sure Void Spirit just does the exact same thing in the lane as Kunkka would, but just worse. Like, he just farms creeps, but just slower than Kunkka does. I could be wrong. Maybe I just don't understand the Kunkka Void Spirit matchup that heavily. Maybe if you get, like, a rotation from one of the 2B picked heroes, you get them into 6-3, maybe something interesting happens, but...
They have some... Oh, I mean, I guess you can say this about Dawnbreaker just in general, but X is pretty good setup for a Dawnbreaker ult, right? So we might see that kind of coordination and play coming out later on. X into Torrent, into Boats, into Dawnbreaker ult.
I guess it could work early on if you can get the Void Spirit to bait out the Assimilate if pre-6. Because usually you use Assimilate to not die in that lane, but if you can bait it out, maybe it'll last at a range creep, have Dawnbreaker wrap around gank, then it's a kill, but that seems difficult. It seems like you need a lot of things to go right for the Void Spirit to die there.
I'm unfamiliar with the cooldown there. How big is the Dissimulate cooldown?
It's at least like 10, right? It's long enough you can't just dissimulate into dissimulate again. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's not like 0, you know? Yeah, I'm on it.
They banned out the Alchemist. I don't know about seeing the hero in position 1 too much, but we talked a little bit about Alchemist in the position 5 role, because I thought there was some interesting things going on there. I was being told that they're running Alchemist 5, or kind of like experimenting with it right now, just due to how efficient the stun is for trading in lane. It's low mana cost and relatively high damage and high stun for the mana cost that it does have.
I looked it up, by the way. 11 seconds at level 4, 20 seconds at level 1 for Dissimulate, so...
For Dissimulate. So if it's level 1 and you use it, you're a little bit out of options.
Definitely punishable, but... Well, that's an
Mhm.
interesting pick. That's a Dazzle. I feel like there's people... Like, Dazzle's not necessarily a good hero yet, but people think he could be a good hero. I want to hear, what are your thoughts on Dazzle right now?
My thoughts? I think there is a little bit of a trend towards these healers for the position 5 role due to the nerfs to the salve, right? So, salve does half healing now. We're kind of seeing a resurgence on the healers. I think I do see a little bit of Warlock nowadays. A Dazzle, I'm not sure. I think the only team I've seen it run heavily is this one. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, I feel like I've seen some of it, but Dazzle's definitely not in vogue yet. The way I hear, like, say, Warlock really has come into his own the last like 2 3 weeks. I mean, we've been seeing Warlock, we've been seeing a bit of Abaddon, a bit of Witch Doctor, but not really too
Hmm.
much Dazzle necessarily. And
And that's also, I guess, kind of one of the reasons Dawnbreaker is good. It's kind of self-sustaining in the new salve nerf patch.
well,
Shadow
that is a
Shaman.
Shadow Shaman. Interesting. I actually like that a lot. This game having the Hex into the Void Spirits. I think I would prefer a Lion over a Shaman, but I like the idea of the Shaman.
I think Shaman is the more popular pick nowadays. Because I forget why. I think the cooldowns with Lions are just too long. And then Shaman gives you that extra utility of being able to actually knock down buildings later on. Bane.
Okay, so we'll be seeing a Bane 5, Shaman 4, Dawnbreaker either 1 or 3. Probably 3 in this game if I had to guess, and then
Mhm.
Kunkka middle. Interesting. I'm a big fan of what Radiant are drafting right now. I think they have a very good draft concept put together.
There's a lot of setup, right? That's kind of what we're seeing here. Because the way I see it, every single one of these heroes has a stun. That's always pretty nice to play around. You always have that option. Well, one thing I want to point out with the Bane pick, you're familiar with how Enfeeble works nowadays,
Yeah.
right? It reduces just all damage and all attack damage in general. But I think the more important part is the cast range and cast point reduction. So imagine you get the Enfeeble off on the Void Spirit, he's suddenly a lot less slippery because he can't jump as far.
Even the cast point thing really could mess with muscle memory. Like you're trying
Hmm.
to react to something like X mark, and being that like 0.2 seconds further off really could be the difference between living and dying in that situation.
Yeah. And let's see, I need to check the hero. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a 1 point wonder where that cast range reduction and cast point doesn't scale. So even just that 1 point is value. Tidehunter though.
That is almost certainly going to be Kate this hero. It's been one of the more
Yeah.
popular offlaners for the Sus team with this current 5-man lineup, and I guess it isn't too shocking that we'll be seeing him play the Tide tonight.
I think it's interesting here since again they have so much setup and so much stuns on the other side. Tidehunter kind of guarantees that you know you can get the Ravage off. You're gonna be able to purge any of those stuns, and then just mash your ult while you're trying to purge it, right?
Yeah, I mean this is
So they might just send him on the front lines if they ever try grouping up. Go ahead.
this is definitely the way they're going to function with that Tide, where there's so much good stuff to purge this game. I mean, sure
Hmm.
you could try to keep chain stunning him, but you have to be basically perfect because Ravage's casting duration is very short. So it'll require some really on point abilities to just to make Tide not have abilities go off in these fights. Maybe Kunkka can go for a Silver Edge, and that might be the way to kill him. It's like, alright, you break him with the Silver Edge, then you just throw everything at the Tide, but that's still easier said than done this game with the Dazzle, especially.
Well, it sounds possible at least. It's not like super crazy.
I've seen Kobe's Dazzle, man. It seems pretty hard. He's been on point with the Graves in the previous series I've casted with him playing Dazzle. I have a lot of faith in Kobe to be clutch in these fights.
I have a lot of faith in him anyways. Successful mid, successful offlane, successful 5. If we put a tier list right now, he would be at number 1 for the 5s. That's no bias for me, by the way. That's just facts.
You know, you actually might be right. Like, I'm going through the league real fast, and you actually might be right about that one. I can't think of a better five. There's comparable fives, but I can't think of anyone who's outright better from the five role than Kobe is right now in lads. You know, Levi's good, Brightside's good, but Kobe's been really good this season.
He's good every season. He carried all seasons of our CSL team,
True.
in which we got disqualified 3 years in a row.
Uh,
Not our fault. Wasn't our fault, man.
I don't know, man. 3 times in a row, it sounds like your fault. If it's if it's
I
once,
know.
I don't understand. But 3 times in a row, I think it sounds like your fault.
It was just extreme unluckiness. Oh well. Alright. Bloodseeker. You can't purge the rupture. That's nice. What? I guess it also has some okay synergies with the rest. There's a lot of setup for the blood right. You can get going there.
I mean, they were removing one of 4Play's heroes. Problem is, 4Play gets has some more heroes. And speaking of signature 4Play heroes, it is the Chaos Knights. What is
Thinking.
KU Void Spirit? All right then.
All right. I feel like Chaos Knight might have a bit of a tough game trying to kill the cores if they ever get the boat off. Because at least from when I play CK, one of the things that feels really nice about this hero is your ability to pretty much blow up anyone, not just supports. You can like 100-0 cores as well. If Kunkka gets boats off before a fight starts and gets that rum buff going, I don't think you're going to be able to 100-0 the cores anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're just ahead by a lot, but one thing, if you're ahead by a lot, you're probably going to win anyways, so maybe this requires some very good maneuvering in these fights. Like, say you have White Spirit going on one initiation, and then you have Tide Gravagen, then CK going on like a third target in the backline, maybe, but if you get the rum buff on the cores, you're still fighting, but no Shaman, no Bane, you're down a lot of spells then.
I guess one of the other, small but cool interactions I'm seeing is, so CK ults, he'll get these illusions going. If he Chaos Rips anyone, all the illusions are on top, and then you can do a bit of a Dazzle Bomb.
That'd be
So
nice.
you can heal them, get like 4 procs of the damage onto the unit. There's also some nice synergies going with the minus armor that Dazzle provides.
Alright, we are in. I apologize if you hear fireworks. They are currently happening. I'm pretty sure on both of our mics, actually, but
Let
we
me know if
are
mine gets excessive. Go ahead.
we are here for game number 1 of Sus taking on Boss Up. We have Boss Up featuring Shane on the Bane standing in, taking on Sus. My name is Badger. I'm joined by the one, the only Teddy. Hopefully, we are in for a good time tonight.
It's always a good time when you're casting this team. Make nice plays, they always look good. Pretty sure they always win as well. I haven't checked the score, but I trust them.
You might see a little bit of action in the river early on. There's a solid 8 heroes in this little area over here, so we might just see a 4v4 brawl at these runes.
30 seconds to battle.
Radiant has much more stuns for the level 1 here, but I think I favor Dire for actual kill potential. Oh, Dawnbreaker walking up.
It is go time. Poison touch on Zexy into Chaos Bolt, into Gush, into what will be 1 kill on Dawnbreaker. Radiant turn for KU, but he's still 1/3 HP, and he'll get away nice and safely. And Keita has Gush again in 2 more seconds. But it seems like the fighting will be over, with 3 runes going to the Dire side, as well as First Blood.
Alright. Now, which lane are we going to take a look at here first?
Let's look at mid lane first, but we'll move our attention away from mid to anywhere else in about 10 seconds.
Sure.
I guess KU is injured, which will hurt him in this lane, but he is only 200 gold from that bottle, so he'll be fine. Once he makes a key error, he'll be fine.
Trying to find who the first blood gold went to. Oh, it went to Dazzle.
We'll see one more. Oh, I thought we might see one more kill in this Radiant side jungle, but Shane uses the trees to get some self-healing off his Brain Sap once again. Lightning Bolt in the Brain Sap as the return. Both supports are incredibly low. One more hit might do it.
Zeus is faster. He's not going to catch up.
He's just too fast.
10 units faster.
The little things in Dota.
That's one of the things you check for when you're going for a kill like that. You check, are they faster than me? Okay, I'm going to stop now. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time.
Yes, Shane not interested in wasting more of his time further than that, but he is low on regen in this lane. He's used his tangos and his salve, so he's fighting without any of that at this point in this lane. Only mangoes and brain sap, and Dire know that. They go on the Bane immediately. Bane is low. He'll try to man fight out, but there is no way out but the grave. That's now 2 kills for the Dire. Bloom tried for vengeance, but vengeance will not be found.
Keita is going to carry out a self. Go ahead.
No, you go. Trust me.
Oh, that's all I was going to say. I just saw, okay, he's low. What is he going to do? He's just going to stock up on regen. If there's nothing to talk about, I want to talk about the Zeus jump. The skill is pretty fucking broken.
I agree. Go on.
So, I guess one of the things that makes it so strong is that, so it does zap a hero and then do damage off that, but it also reduces their attack speed. So if you're trading a support, you know, 1v1 in the jungle like he was earlier, you're reducing the effectiveness of their attacks, right?
It's very hard to trade into that. There's no doubt that this lightning jump is... What is it? Heavenly jump is a very powerful ability. Top lane, we saw the Dawnbreaker go down already, and they're running at the Shaman as well. Reality Rift in, and Shaman is 2 hits from dying, but the 2 hits will not be there. He'll salve up and be fine. We're at the bottom again. Nightmare on Zeus, but he has the jump. Problem is he's silenced by Brotherite, Brain Sap by Shane, and Wellmart from Bloom will do it, but he jumps away in time! You mentioned the Heavenly Jump being powerful, and we see it in action right then and there.
While it is powerful, I'm actually really not a fan of the skill. Ice Frog just giving Zeus free mobility when it was like the one weakness of the hero. It feels kinda not great, balancing wise.
This is Dota 2 in the year 2022. One day, every hero will have a movement skill. Over to bottom again, Bloodray on the floor will silence both Keita and Malefic. Shane will Brain Sap. He tries to run into the trees and will juke away, but what? Zeus will Mango and Lightning Bolt will jump in forward, and Bane will die to the tide. Bloom again wants vengeance, has level 2 Bloodright, but Keita will not get damaged by it. He'll Anchor Smash and run away. Bloom again will stand and fight, but there is no vengeance for his Bane, who's now died twice in this lane. It's 4 kills for Sus. They're off to a fantastic start so far.
I want to point out just one small thing Keita did. Right before he popped the salve, he dropped all his items and picked them back up again. Or, I mean, he backpacked them to get the cooldown going. He's trying to be as efficient as possible with the salve there.
Very little HP gain from doing that, but every little bit counts in Dota sometimes, you know? Maybe it's like 10 more HP healed, and that might be the difference in these upcoming lane trades. Speaking of lane trades, top lane, Foreplay and Rose Gold both are low. Chaos Bolt in on Zexy, but Radiant will finally get on the board with a kill on Foreplay's Chaos Knight.
I think they might dive the Dazzle here. They can... Oh, no. Oh, the other creep wave came in.
I thought about it, but did not commit for the dive on. Against a hero like Dazzle, it could be very hard to dive into.
I think if he had the mana for Shackles, he might have gone for it. How's the mid lane looking?
Boring, but top lane is interesting. Xexy on the run from the danger. He's slowed by Poison Touch. Xexy is 1/4 HP and dropping rapidly. Chaos Bolt's up in 2 for Foreplay. So Zexy almost certainly will die here. He'll turn Starbreaker, but it will be a death at the hands of Kobe's Dazzle. Now it's Shaman, again fighting in the 1v2. Has no mana remaining, and again he's slow with a Poison Touch. Diving under the tower. Rose Gold will tick down to that last hit from Kobe. 6 kills for Sus.
Look at the bottom
and over
lane.
the bottom lane, it's Shane again on the run. He's brought down by a Lightning Bolt. And Malefic, smart move, TP's away immediately. So even then, Bloom once again cannot avenge his Bane. We have we've got a Germany-Brazil score right now. This is fantastic.
7-1. Dude, it's been years. People are so on this shit.
and it's still hilarious 8 years later.
It really is. All right, you said that the mid lane was boring, but the CS tells a sad story.
That's what happened. It's like, alright, Kunkka, Void Spirit both won't die, but Kunkka's better hitting creeps. We're seeing Kunkka, he's hitting more creeps.
Mm-hmm. It's got 40 some CS, 14 denies. Kind of outpacing the Void by a bit here. Pretty sure he'll continue to outpace the Void. Void Spirit does not strike me as the best at farming creeps.
I mean, zero doubt about it. He's a full level up. He's got rune control. That was the one thing a Void Spirit could have maybe gotten was that -6 rune, but it's not only to the Kunkka, it's a double damage rune to Kunkka. That's scary.
Probably see some movement soon. Oh, bottom lane, Rupture.
Yeah, Rupture, bottom lane's fight occurs top
Oh,
lane. Cade keeps playing, but again, into the dire side jungle. It's a Chaos Bolt on Zexy. Zexy will attempt the runaway, and he will run away. It turns out everyone's fine in the side lanes. Over to mid lane, it's KU stepping in, perhaps. He's in a little bit of danger here, but actually going to assimilate instead. He's now hexed and shackled and boated. He will fall to Turtle. So at least one thing that is going very well for the Radiants is this middle lane.
Right there we see one of the things we talked about during the draft. They have some very nice setup. Kunkka did not have X there, but Shaman made up for it by having the shackles instead.
Player's middle tower is under attack.
Wait, Radiant's actually up by 1k gold right now.
It's a Kunkka difference.
I guess it actually
That's
is. He's up by 1.3k versus the Void Spirits. But even then, look at the hero network. It's 1, 2, 3 Radiant cores.
Hold on.
They're all ahead. Like, Dire's net worth is on Dazzle right now.
Kobe will carry the game. Just give him more net worth.
Apparently, with all the net worth of Dazzle, he will carry the game right now. That's the idea. And, well, Kobe he is good at Dota, but is he good enough to carry the game on Dazzle? Probably not.
I don't doubt him. I believe. X mark on the Void Spirit. Shaman is coming back down.
There's a lot of rotation towards the middle lane. There's a Bane fighting with Zeus on the right side as well, but it all results in Turtle getting that rune. Top lane, we'll see a jump on Zexy. He's again slowed by Poison Touch, but he is playing Dawnbreaker, so he will not die.
Looking around right now, trying to find points of interest. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, it is
Rupture on the
Zeus being ruptured, and well, he's going to die eventually. He'll attempt to right-click the Bloodseeker, but that will not do anything of value.
We haven't seen a Ravage use this game yet. But it doesn't feel like Ravage sets up too much right now, right?
I guess if
Sets
you
up
have
a
a bunch
Void
of
Spirit.
follow-up, like if you have 3 or 4 heroes who could do something, but
Mhm.
just Tide plus Zeus is not that powerful right now.
I guess they're satisfied with just parking him in the lane down here for the moment. Dead Shaman top.
It seems like he will be. It is 2 hitting him with the third on the way. KU can step in if he's needed. Zexy will turn with a one-man Starbreaker stun on Dazzle. Furworth hits in as well for 3v3 fight in the top lane. Bane TP's in as well. Boat on 4-play. 4-play will fall. Radiant head to Dazzle. Dazzle is low and shackled. Has a stick, but there's no way out from his death. 2 kills for Turtle on the Kunkka. And suddenly Kunkka, look at this man's net worth. He is over 5k at minute 9. This is quite high.
Turtle's just really good at Dota.
Apparently, I mean, this is he was a
net worth.
DPC standby player for the last Open qualifiers, so he is certainly quite good.
Really? For what team?
Passionless.
Passionless.
Dire structures are falling.
But really, he is smashing that net worth. He's got nearly 1.5k up on the Void right now.
Yeah, KU's not farming that badly. It's just more Turtles farming that well. And I guess the problem is when all 3 cores in the Dire are farming relatively mediocrely, then you... K died bottom lane, I missed that. Solar Guardian in by Zexy. That's the 1 kill I've missed this game, what can you do? But it's now 6 kills for Boss Up.
For the record, I didn't miss it. I just didn't say anything. I was waiting for you to say something.
Now, to be fair, usually I do, or either I catch on screen I just don't purposely, I just didn't see that one.
Alright.
But I will see the one in this Dire side jungle with Turtle fighting in this 1v3, stunned by Chaos Bolt, but it's a boat as a turn. The turn with the rum
gonna have
buff,
rum
Torrents. will only hit the illusion, but it allows Turtle to leave. Step in by Cave. The Remnant is missed. Again, KU has one more step, but he instead will put his eyes upon the Shaman. Shaman will fall. They now head to Bane. Bane, I believe, will survive. There's no spells on KU's of Void Spirit, so it's only a Shaman dead, which is much better than the alternative of Kunkka dying.
They did bring the Tidehunter in, which leaves the bottom lane open.
He made a mistake in middle lane. He's going to die for it, perhaps. He has no spells. He's very low, but he has a Dazzle. Ravage in, hitting on 2 heroes, turning onto the Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is low. The Dawnbreaker will not die quite yet, but will eventually die to the Dazzle. Has a grip on Void Spirit. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Dire still have to fight Turtle. Will turn X Mark onto the Zeus. Zeus has no mana. He's torrented in the air, into the Brain Sap, into the Shackles, into eventually a Tidebringer, which fails to last hit the Zeus, but still, it is 2 kills for the Tide Boss up and only 1 kill for Sus in that fight.
Not just 2 kills. Bloodseeker also took the bottom tower during all that.
Speaking of towers, it will be the mid T1 as well. Siege unit plus the Serpent Wards. Far, far, far too powerful to stop. Maybe the knife from Kobe? Oh, that was close.
State of the game isn't looking too great right now for the Dire. All their outer towers are already gone, and Radiant still has all 3 of theirs.
Yeah, that's not... Because you ordinarily use like these T1 for T1 tower trades to say Dire would give their top T1 for Radiant's bottom T1, but these towers are actually all healthy, too. They're not even remotely injured.
Yeah, they've just
bottom one, I guess.
They've been playing these tower pushes pretty well, because when they took the tier 1 top earlier, Bloodseeker was still bottom lane, and as soon as they were done taking top, that's when they Dawnbreaker ulted. That was the kill that we missed. So they just killed Tidehunter and there's no pressure to that tower at all. And then just now, right before, you know, they maybe get a smoke kill here, when they brought the Tide out of the bottom lane to take this mid fight, Bloodseeker just immediately took the opportunity to start smacking the tower. That resulted in bottom dying.
They need to kill Bloom. They see him step in into the Remnant, has been hit into the Simulate. Polar Guardians to turn, and Bloom actually heals with the Blood Ray on creeps. Now, it's a 2-man Starbreaker stun. KU is low. The bolt will finish the job. KU is dead. X-Mark brings Keita back towards 2 cores. Zeus has Lightning Bolt, but it does not kill the Bloodseeker. He's simply running too fast. Radiant again turned to Tide and the Zeus. Both will be the target. Turtle on Tide, supports on Zeus. Zeus will get Nightmare. Keita will die to Turtle. Back to Zeus. He has been shackled. He has been torrented. He too will fall. It was a good attempt by Sus, but instead of a good result, it is a 3-for-0 team fight loss.
Do you think that was Bloodseeker being extremely lucky or skillful?
A little bit of both.
With the creep heal there. That was unfortunate. He's healed back like 500 HP.
That right there is the intersection between luck and skill. Like, you gotta have both of those throughout the work, I'm sure.
And off the back of that fight, the Radiant is now parking themselves in the jungle. They have set up wards. Kind of just choking that part of the map out.
They have such great vision coverage in this Dire. So they have 2 wards in this Dire side jungle. They see everything right now.
I was going to point out this one you circled. This one's interesting. I don't think this is going to get dewarded.
This one on the east side?
Yeah.
It gives really deep vision into this almost mid-lane sort of rotation area where heroes are rotating over to defend this top T2, or even rotating over to farm, hard camp, or elsewhere. There's a lot of sneaky vision being given here, because I don't think this D-ward right on this high ground would hit it, would it?
I don't think so. It looks like it's just barely out of it. He might have checked beforehand by, like, you know, not placing a sentry there. Oh, there is a Roche attempt.
Seems like we'll be seeing a trade of the T1 bottom on the Radiant side for the first Roshan of the series. And, well, you know, we spend a lot of time in Dota looking at the Roshan pit, and usually it doesn't go well for Roshan. This time would be no different. Aegis goes to Kunkka, and Radiant actually want more. They see a Tide, Nightmare, into Blood Ray, into Shackles, into a Purge and Package Shell, but into the boat, and Starbreaker stuns! And that will be another death on the Keita Tide, and, well, it seems like Boss Up are firmly in the driver's seat right now. They're having a great time.
I got this Aegis. They might be looking to knock down some tier 2s now. Earlier you were saying Roche never has a good time. I think he had a good time yesterday. He had a buddy in the pit.
Okay, that's the exception to the rule. You just have 2. For those who are unaware, there was a game last night where they tried to remake a a Chinese Dota game, and in the remake they literally had 2 Roshan. So my good friend Neff and our Cryptic were casting and just 2 Roshans in the Roshan pits, which is some good stuff. The bottom stuff, we'll see a Chaos Bolt stun on Zexy. Zexy is low, but he's not quite dead yet. Reality Rift in, but Zexy remains alive. Zeus cannot finish the job, and now Shackles will cancel the TP of foreplay as Chaos Knight. 2 kills, again, all for Boss Up, and the lead is extended all the way to 5k now.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top
It's pretty bad to be Dire right now. What options do you think they have open to them right now?
I guess split the map and hope Radiant make a mistake.
That feels like the worst way to play the game.
Yeah, it is. We are seeing instead Radiance. They're not going to sit back and do nothing. They're going to once again apply the pressure. They're running towards Keita, who is run all the way from the middle lane river to the Dire side jungle. He's graved by Kobe. Bloom still wants this kill. TP has been cancelled, as has the life of Tidehunter. Now Radiant move their attention towards the Dazzle under the T2 tower. Grave remains on cooldown. They'll pop the bad Juju, not the good Juju, my bad, but still. It is a Dazzle dead and 2 more kills for Boss Up. And you mentioned they might go for some tier 2 towers, and that will be their next goal, is that middle tier 2 tower.
Now earlier you were, well, way earlier during the draft you were saying, you know, why not just pick a Lion? I think this is why. Shaman kind of enables what they're doing, what they've been doing.
KU gets the kill on Zexy. What a fantastic play on Void Spirits. A little bit of help from the Zeus there with that Thunder God's Wrath, but still, fantastic kill. And if he escapes, and he will escape, Torrent has been missed. What a move by KU. That's what you gotta do. He's splitting the map and making some big plays.
That was very close. I swear he had vision of him there. Wasn't entirely in the tree line.
Maybe if it's like a creep like right there, he would have seen it, but I guess there was no creeps left. So he's just over here and it's fine.
Yeah, you're right. It's just barely out of the tower vision.
And this
It's
is
also
Portland
nighttime.
Burnsider's very own KU. He knows what he's doing, Teddy.
I know. I played with him.
I know.
Of course he knows what he's doing. Not in other games. Dota 2, definitely.
Where were we? Dire are actually going for this bottom 2-2 tower. Maybe. They have heroes as if they
No.
want to go for it, but they actually can't, so they're not going to.
No, they really don't want to do this. If they did this, they'd be like fighting into a tier 2 Aegis. That sounds terrible.
Guess they
all
will
it takes
group
is-
farm instead.
Yeah, they're waiting for someone to mess up and, you know, consider taking some of their jungle farm, walk up into one of these high grounds where they're waiting for them.
Dire's top tower
Radiant
is under attack.
probably feels that, you know, there's a trap in their jungle, which is why they're not even bothering. Just playing the top side, going for another tower push.
Look at their vision, they see nothing. I mean, they see this courier now, so now they don't have... Okay, Dire either have to be at their tri-camp or in your jungle. There's only 2 places they can be with that courier vision. And so, you
I
know
like
what,
the
they
way-
can't be here, so it's a free tower.
I like the way they have the Dawnbreaker set up down here. So if they do try to defend anywhere on the top side, she just ults in.
Tower has fallen.
Otherwise, she does get to
Is under attack.
kind of take whatever XP farm that she can from these bottom lane waves.
That's the power of the Dawnbreaker. I mean, you saw it for years. Spectre being played in that role, but Dawnbreaker just has so much more draft versatility than Spectre ever did, so you as player in the offlane role, as Zexy did this game, and just do this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Radiant is coming down into the jungle now. Might see someone fall into the trap. Do they have sentry set up? They do.
Radiant are not biting, though. They are not biting on the trap.
Yeah, do you see that drawing right now? That was Bane's drawing. He knows. He's aware.
Heat has expired, but Turtle still runs forward into the trap. Ravage will be there on 3. Dire focus Bane first, then Shaman. Shaman drops the wards, but still will die. So now it's Radiant's cores, attempting to salvage the fight. But Bloom is half HP, is forced to BKB to run away from foreplay. Kobe will grave himself and remains alive. Zexy will finish off Kobe. It's now a 1-for-2, but Bane has bought back and still has grip. X-Mark, Torrent on Zeus. Zeus will die. And Dire wisely scatter, say, you know what, we got 2 kills, we got a buyback. We should probably leave while we're ahead, and they do.
Those were their first BKB usages of the game as well. Might not have been ready for that.
I guess, I mean, that's actually a really good thing for the Dire, because once again, no BKB on Chaos Knight yet. Radiant used 2 of their BKBs and they don't even win the fight when they're that far ahead. Kind of a big deal, actually.
Radiant again.
They could have gone a lot worse for Dire, but they sounded the retreat pretty early on. Just the Void Spirit and the CK pieced out, left the other not the cores, left the other 3 to die. I think that was pretty wise of them. That fight did not look winnable.
I guess at this point we're not waiting for the next Ravage. I mean, it's only a minute away.
Yeah. Just elaborating a little bit more on the last point. I was looking at the CK during the fight, so he tried killing the Bloodseeker. As soon as Bloodseeker BKB'd, he just kind of decided, okay, I'm done here. I'm leaving. I think that was correct.
Radiant
Middle lane, attempt on Tidehunter, X Mark, into Boat, into Bloodright, into a Star Breaker stun, into a death there on the Kate of Tide, and well, we have Bane and Shaman looking for more, but it seems like we might actually get a kill on CK. CK will attempt the Phantasm and juke the Radiant out. The illusion has been next, but the Radiant instead finds Zeus. Grip on the illusion will now get cancelled, but Zeus still is going to die. Bloodright finishes the job, and now they head to foreplay. Foreplay had the jukes, he'll now have to BKB, but he cannot TP. He simply TP on cooldown. So as a result, he too will die as 3 more kills for Boss Up, and well, it's now an 8k lead for the Radiant side.
At the very least, they're not going to be able to hit the high ground here. KU is cutting the top wave. Kobe killed the mid wave before it hit the tower. We do have this wave coming in, but this does delay it a little. By the time it reaches, we should have CK up soon. We have Ravage for this upcoming fight.
Radiant actually dropped the Serpent Wards. They want to, at the very least, poke the high ground a little bit, and they'll get maybe 1/4 of a tower, maybe 1/3 of a tower at most, and they'll have to back off now.
KU just got like 200 gold there.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for Shaman, but you know, you do that exact play 4 more times, the T3 tower is dead.
Yeah. Have you seen shamans that micro their wards so they start killing each other when that happens?
That's the worst feeling.
The greatest shaman play that you can do. Feels pretty good.
X Mark on Chaos Knight. Bloom is on the way. Uses the Rupture on Chaos Knight. He'll turn with Phantasm to attempt the fight. KU stepped in for supports. Fine Shaman. Shaman is dead. And Grave is perfect to keep CK alive for a little bit longer. Ravage in will hit, I believe, 2 heroes. Zexy dead. Turtle is half HP. Foreplay now will fall. But Dire still want to fight with KU. Turtle will go invis with the Silver Edge. He will Tiebringer, but cannot find the kill on Zeus quite yet. Instead, he'll die to the Lightning Bolt from Malefic. Now it's KU stepping in for Bloom. Bloom will die to the Assimilates. It's a 4-for-2 trade heavily in Sus's favor. Big streak lost on Turtle. Big streak lost on Bloom. And Sus gained over 3k net worth in that fight.
That was unfortunate for the CK. His BKB was 9 seconds off of CD when they went on him. I didn't see what happened to the Dawnbreaker, but I do know that they killed her before she got the ult off. I think that's probably what was key for letting them win this fight.
It's like KU did a good job of isolating him in the team fight, silencing him twice with Resonant Pulse with the Aghanims on Void Spirits. He was at the edge of the Ravage as well, so it's a bit unfortunate there for Zexy in that fight. I think Zexy might regret his item decision, because he had the BKB queued up, and he opted instead for the Desolator. So if he had BKB in that last fight, it's probably one of the Radiants.
BKB is a safe option. Desol feels like a win more option. But I guess since they were trying to, you know, run at the high ground, the Desol does help the Shaman Wards kill it a little faster. Maybe that was the idea.
Turtle again has chosen to fight his Tri-Camp. Soul Guardian will bring Zexy into the fight. KU's half HP, but he's graved again by Kobe, which will allow him to dissimulate once he is unhexed. Actually, he's just sealed up. He's fine. Wow. All right then.
So we
Radiant
talked about
certainly
during the
wants
draft.
something, but They're going to run into a CK with Phantasm. Chaos Bolt hits on Zexy. KU steps in, silencing there on 2. Shaman has been killed. Rupture on KU. KU will TP canceled by the grip of Shane. Now, it's 1-for-1 trade, but Dire are beginning to collapse. Kobe is low. Keita is low. Foreplay might kill Zexy, and he will kill Zexy, but the trade is for Keita. And Radiance actually having problems with Zeus. Zeus has a lot of mana to fight with still, and Bloodseeker and Kunkka have their BKBs actually on cooldown. So Radiant must disengage, it appears, unless Shane once again walks on up. He nightmares Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight 2 is half HP. Everybody's injured, and it's that the fight will now end.
One of the funny things I think was both sides saw each other and they saw each other's wards right here. Everything was under sentry for both sides.
Where was the ward at? Am I
Right here,
wrong?
they killed it.
I'm looking at the wrong. Where in the map is that? I feel like I'm looking at the wrong spot on the map right now.
Really? I'm pinging. Do you see it?
Why not? Oh, there! I see your stairs to circle. There it is. I was looking at that in the fight. I was like, wait a minute. There's a lot of warding and de-warding going on there.
The last bit of the fight was them kind of fighting over this one ward that they each side had. Each side saw each other's wards there, and we're trying to get rid of it.
I guess for now, Dire win the ward, but the duration is very low, so it will be a short-lived victory.
That fight went pretty well, considering they had no Ravage. Although Radiant does have the 5k net worth lead, I think I favor the Dire right now. No bias. They can pull it back.
You know, you're the analyst, you're allowed to be biased. All my other analysts are biased. You too are allowed to be biased. You could be biased in favor of your 4 former teammates.
Okay, Foreplay is the greatest carry of all time.
Your 4 former teammates who definitely didn't unceremoniously kick you for 11-17.
I didn't get kicked. I left. I retired.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
I've been spending all my ex-lads time at the gym. I'm ripped now.
Well,
All right,
speaking of
Shaman.
ripped, it will be Shaman who'll be ripped to shreds by the Dire Side gang squad. Wait, he's... Oh, is he... Okay, he's fine somehow. KU will step in for Turtle, but Turtle is quite tanky and has to step in for Shaman. X mark the return, but it's a Ravage! A fantastic Ravage on 3 from Keita! Now, Radiant are beginning to die. Problem is their Void Spirit has been killed. Kobe will get chased down by Bloodseeker as Radiant put their attention towards the Zeus. And the Tide. The Tide is dead. And now Bloom will BKB, running at Foreplay. Foreplay, again, is trying to survive, but he's been hexed. The grip has been cancelled by Shane, but it seems not to matter. CK is incredibly low, and he cannot kill anybody. Tidebringer brings down the Dazzle, and Zeus, the lone survivor, will get away, but that is 4 kills. We're decided to boss up, and I believe we know what time it is. It's time to run it down the middle lane.
They do have Shaman wards for this push. This is also where that Dazzle is finally going to kick in. They're going to be able to take all these buildings pretty quickly.
Dire will glyph, but it will not stop the inevitable. I guess they're just sacking 1 racks now.
I think they might... Yeah, the lines are being drawn. They're just beelining it to the pit right afterwards.
We are seeing Dire TP in time. Perhaps they'll intercept Radiant on the way to the Roshan pit. Smoke up on Dazzle and Zeus. They see Bloom. Turtle will TP away. He X marks back into the fight, but the problem is Bloom is already dead. CK has been hexed by Shaman, but CK is one angry man. He has been nightmared by Bane. KU has a step into a remnant hitting on Shane's Bane, and now Bane is not dead quite yet, but his life is numbered in a matter of seconds. The Gush will finish the job, and that's 2 more kills for Sauce. And well, instead of Radiant getting that second Roshan of the game, it will be the Dire instead, of barring a miracle. That is going to be a nice Edison shard right there for possibly both going to Foreplay. Well, the shard goes to KU instead. Okay, on the Void Spirit. We are seeing Zexy now go back for that BKB. He has finished the job. He is ready to join his other 2 cores with the BKBs. But we're seeing actually, I guess only 4 BKBs for now, with the 3 Radiant cores having it, and then Foreplay being the lone member of the Dire with said BKB. Ooh, it seems like Dire might just go for another smoke play. They have Ravage up again, and of course they have that Aegis on Chaos Knight. It is a 4-man smoke. And we are going up the middle lane sort of area into the Radiant side jungle. Looking at Radiant's vision, they saw the Shaman bottom lane, they see a Bloodseeker middle lane. If they kill Bloom, it's one good target, but instead they find Zexy, who BKB reacts in time. So now Zexy gets away. Dire have lost their smoke gank, but Zexy has lost his BKB. You there, Teddy? Alright, so Teddy's internet has disconnected, so I was wondering why Teddy wasn't saying any words. I was like, is he like drinking some water? Is he scratching something? No, his internet DC'd. He will be back as soon as possible. For now, I will be alone, unfortunately. We are seeing Dire again in the bottom lane sort of area. An area very familiar to them, but this time, they are here for the siege. CK will hit the T2 tower, though we are seeing Kunkka TP in. He will torrent, hitting Foreplay. The Silver Edge crit actually brings CK very low, and CK will lose 1 life. Dire will attempt to now initiate, perhaps with Ravage. Foreplay blinks away in time, getting him to the high ground. Radiant will attempt to walk into it, focusing on Zeus first and foremost. They will bring him to the grave, and now it's time for the remainder of the team to scatter. Shaman will cancel the TP of Dazzle via the Hex, and Dazzle, poor Dazzle, very dead. But it is only both supports lost. All 3 cores on the Dire side get away, so it is limited losses for Sus. But again, Radiant are not done chasing. They're running into this Dire tri-camp sort of area up the middle lane. They have an unfinished job to accomplish. There are 2 more lanes of barracks to siege, and here we go again. Radiant walk back onto that Dire side high ground. X mark on KU, who will assimilate. But again, he misses the assimilate timing. And that will be a death on Void Spirit. Ravage was used as a counterplay, but it did nothing. So now Radiant have 5 heroes. In the Sus side, base supports are respawning. But at this point, your base is in severe duress. You are going to lose this top rank at the very least, and Zexy is hitting tier 4s. It is time to slap tier 4s to force out KU's buyback. Key problem, KU has no buyback. Again, Radiance, they want to punish as hard as they can. X-Mark, Torrent, onto Keita. Keita will get Hex, but Dire, with Thunder God's Wrath, will force Radiant to retreat. Zexy is incredibly low on the HP. He will walk away, so Radiant only get 1 more set of barracks, but this lead extends even further now to 12k. Ugh. Well, seems like we are going to see Radiant actually stay in the top lane sort of area. I thought they might go bottom, focus on that tier 2 tower, but instead, we are going to see mostly attention being turned again to just farming as most of the map as possible. Bloodseeker has an arcane rune, but I don't think we're going to see anything too wild and crazy with it this time around. KU has respawned to the game, and Foreplay will TP back. Perhaps Dire will try to force out 1 more team fight. And if they lose the team fight, call it a GG. That could be their play right here. Or they could be waiting at the... They're definitely going to wait for at least for Ravage in 35 seconds before to make that play. We do have a smoke on Dazzle, if that is going to be their play. Is Teddy back? Okay. So it seems like something has happened with Teddy's internets involving fireworks, which is not ideal. Hopefully it will be back soon. That'd be nice. For now, though, the obvious target will be the one for the Radiant. It will be that bottom tier 2 tower. They want to open up the opportunity to go for the Megas. First set up in the area, KU's in the trees. Radiance will be under the dire side obs ward when they walk up, but Turtle will X mark and get away for the time being. Warplay, pump fakes, Phantasm activates it now. Zexy finds Key will assimilate, dodge the stun. Rapid comes in, will hit onto only one hero, but it is one big kill on Zexy. But Radiant, with 2 big HP cores, will turn for more. Dire are losing a lot of HP on their Void Spirit, and he is going to inevitably die when the grave ends. And Bloom is a very fast Bloodseeker running at Dazzle, as Shackles are there on Zeus. Zeus is low, Dazzle is low, Dawnbreaker buys back, finding Foreplay dead, Kobe dead, Tide low, he'll crack and shell, but there is no way out, 4 dead. On the Dire side, Nophic the lone survivor, and the GG is called. And Boss Up will win game number 1 in this 2-game series. So we are going to, after this pretty fantastic, actually, I wouldn't say, it was a pretty decent game 1. We are going to put the lobby up. We're going to take a 2-minute break real fast before game number 2. I'll be right back in 2 minutes, and hopefully we'll resolve the Teddy thing by then. But until then, I'll be right back. So we are back. So it turns out we do not have a resolution to the Teddy internet situation quite yet. Hopefully he'll be back when he comes back. He's in the lobby somehow, right? I think yeah, he's in the lobby somehow. Okay, he's not in the lobby. Never mind. I saw him in the lobby temporarily, but it seems like he will not be in the lobby. So,
10 seconds remaining.
R.I.P. Teddy's internets. We will miss you. But we are here for game number 2 of of Boss Up versus Sus. Boss Up now move up to 7 wins and 6 losses. Sus moved down to 8 wins and 7 losses. So both teams are 1 game over 500 currently. So good opportunity for both teams to potentially start to extend their situation. There were some people asking about the playoff format and how many teams will make it. There will be 12 teams making the playoffs, 4 teams in losers, 4 teams in winners, 8 teams in losers. So obviously, getting that top 4 seed is quite helpful if you can get that top 4 seed, get into winners. But both of these teams, you're going to make a big run on the latter half of the season, win a lot of games if you want one of those top 4 seeds. Obviously, playoffs, period, is relatively likely for both sides, but it's not guaranteed yet at 8 wins or at 7 wins, that is for sure. If they keep their current win rate over the rest of the season, yeah, it's looking pretty good, but crazier things have happened. There have been plenty of teams that started off seasons extremely strong and then just lost a ton of games. I know my team last season was a victim to that. We started off the season extraordinarily well, and then we just started losing every game. But sometimes, what can you do, right? So, what can you do? So, I have an update from Teddy. Turns out his internet stuff is completely screwed. It's almost certainly not on his end. He's reset his stuff, his router, his modem stuff. But it seems like a fireworks-based explosion out of his house must have hit some kind of line, whether it's some kind of cable line or something. But something is now messed up on his ends. There is no internet. He used his precious phone data to message me on Discord telling me a shortened version of that, but yeah, we are going to be flying solo. Looking at the overall draft, though, first phase of bans will be Io, Dawnbreaker, Beastmaster, and Pudge. Once again, some very expectable bans. Both teams play the Io. This time, Sus ban it out, and they also don't want Zexy or really anyone on Boss Up to once again be playing that Dawnbreaker. Boss Up ban out the Beastmaster, which is one of Sus's most favorite sort of strats to go for is the Flex Big Beastmaster, where you flex it between the 3 and the 5. You make it this really strong, tanky hero to team fight around, and Boss Up say, you know what, we don't want to deal with it. And they ban out KU's Pudge.
10 seconds.
I guess not just KU's Pudge, but KU is most certainly the best Pudge player on the Radiant side team, playing at Pudge core. But
Dire team back.
we'll see a 5-pick Marcy, likely in support role for Malefic, into a 6-7 Puck Tusk. Puck, obviously one of the premier heroes of the patch currently, so strong pick there for Boss Up. Into the tiny pick for Sus. And I guess knowing that the 4 hero here is most likely going to be the Marcy, which means no Lion, no Shaman, it makes the Puck pick just that much easier. I mean, you see a number of pro teams 5-pick the Puck or 6-pick the Puck, so seeing its 6-pick tier is not too surprising, to say the least.
remaining.
I am interested in seeing what ends up happening with this Tusk.
Dire
The
team
easy answer would be it's probably going to simply be the 4 supports. But that's not interesting enough. So I'm going to make an absolutely bold and likely incorrect prediction that the Tusk will be an offlaner. And you may ask me, Badger, why would you possibly think that?
10
And the answer
seconds
is,
remaining.
I don't know. But it sounds fun.
5 seconds remaining.
A little bit less fun, though, are our bans. Juggernaut, Lifestealer, Terrorblade all being banned out. Obviously, Jug, probably the premier carry of the patch right now. Lifestealer, a lot of people don't think he's very good. I think Lifestealer is actually a pretty good carry right now. We have been seeing an upswing in play of Lifestealer in the pro scene. We saw Yawar play for Quincy Crew to great success a few days ago.
Dire team
We saw in the Div 2 series earlier today. Lifestealer was very powerful as well for Eternity, so this Lifestealer hero certainly has been picked more and more in the pro scene recently, and I'm a fan of the hero. I think he's pretty good. And Terrorblade man as well. I know KU values Terrorblade very highly. For those who don't know, KU is a noted Terrorblade specialist. He understands the power of the hero and often bans it out now he's no longer playing carry anymore. Dire, a little more standard on their bans. They move it around. They ban out 4 support, 2 offlaners. All obviously some of the better heroes in the patch right now in the Zeus, Night Stalker, and Underlord. And all also heroes that Sus have played. I think all 3 were played last series even.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
clearly Boss Up doing their homework. Banning out Sus's preferred heroes currently. And we will see the Shane Wyvern. If memory serves, I believe Wyvern is Shane's best hero. I don't think... I'm trying to think about his hero pool from the games I've casted, and I want to say Wyvern is his straight-up best hero. So I like this pick to have Shane play it for the 5 role. Should work out quite well. It's a pretty good hero into the Marcy, I guess. It's a pretty good hero into the Tiny, I guess, as well in that sense. And I'm not sure if you're going to get that many kills in the curse duration in this game, but having that AoE CC simply to ruin the game with a hero like Viper, a hero like Tiny, just redirect the fights and allow your Puck to reposition, drop a big coil, allow your Tusk to reposition, big kick, big shards. There's a lot of possible team play and maneuvering the Dire can do. They have some dangling to do, to use a phrase on that one, but Radiant, keep it simple. Tanky heroes, good heroes. Tiny, still inherently a very flexible pick at this point. I mean, Tiny can go literally any of these 1 to 5 roles right now. Viper could be 3, could be 5, could be 2. Marcy's probably 4, but could be 5. Or if Radiant's something very bold, they could put the Marcy core, but probably going to be 4 or 5. This 17 pick, though, is going to have to give something away. They can't keep everything a secret forever. Let's say I play some like Windrunner type hero. And they grab Shaman, so we now have a better idea. It is Marcy Shaman support duo. Probably Viper 3, Tiny 2. Well, I know 4Play has played Tiny in the past, so it could be Viper 3, Tiny 1. And then you
remaining.
23 pick the KU mid. But I think KU knew
Seconds
that Puck
remaining.
would be mid. It was the 6th pick, so he says, you know what, I'm comfortable playing Tiny into this Puck hero. Tiny, very tanky, a lot of damage, and a lot of times you see in these lanes, Tiny could just get ahead and CS early on, and Puck often struggles to zone this Tiny away from the lane. But having watched the last game, Turtle is a very powerful middle laner by Lad standards. So he potentially could even bully out this KU Tiny in the lane in this Puck versus Tiny matchup. But obviously, there's a lot of kill opportunity for Tiny. If you errantly orb on Puck, then Tiny can certainly punish you with that Avalanche Toss combination. Shaman, Marcy both have rotation potential, so it's certainly both a good and a bad Puck game in that sense. Boss Up, though, grab I'm not going to call him a meta favorite, but certainly a meta present hero in that Visage. I know Lads in particular has had a number of Visage players recently.
Dire
Smiley has been playing a lot of Visage for Funny Zone. Been a number of Visage players this season, and Boss Up as well have in the past picked the Visage. They will pick it again tonight. I believe. Actually, I think they picked it in the past. I remember seeing that in one of their Dota buffs, but it is going to be that pick where once again you can flex it, can go 3, can go 1. I would expect it to be a 3 Visage rather than a 1 Visage, but they always could flex it around. Wait for this 23 pick from Sus, and then if it's a good matchup if Visage matchup well into that core in the lane, you put Visage 3, 24 pick your carry. Or if the alternative is Visage doesn't match up well lane-wise, you put it to carry and you pick an offlane at 24, specifically to lane well into this Sus carry pick, assuming it is their 23 pick and not the Tiny, which I think is a likely assumption to make this game, though not guaranteed. The power of the flex goes down a lot, though, when you have this 23 pick, unless you can grab a flex hero at 23, but
10 seconds remaining.
I really can't think of a good flex hero right now for Sus to really keep their draft hidden. And we have the Rat King himself shitposting in my chat. Hello there, but we are looking at the last pick now for Sus. We are out of reserve time.
10 seconds remaining.
Almost. There is 17 seconds of it remaining, so in that sense, there's not too much time to deliberate. You have to pick something. Or, I guess, random your pick, but usually picking your heroes preferred to randoming it. 5 seconds left, and the pick comes in. It will be the Monkey King. So we're looking at Monkey King carry, Tiny middle, Viper 3, Shaman 4, Marcy 5. I think. We'll find out when the players pick their heroes, but that seems to be the case here. If you're Boss Up, I think you're fine laning Visage into Monkey King, so you can just lock in that 24 pick carry. Whatever you think matches up well into Monkey King in the mid game or late game. Obviously, man fighting the Monkey King can be difficult. If you want to opt for it, perhaps the pick might be Ursa, but instead we'll see the opposite approach of, hey, I'm going to grab a hero who is so maneuverable in the carry role. I can get out of Wukong's command. I can avoid the 1v1, the Monkey King. Obviously, when you get the Shard on Weaver, you get a lot of split damage. So you have an opportunity simply to ignore the Monkey. Allow your kiting heroes to kite him around. Arctic Burn slow, Grave Chill slow, Visage Familiar stuns, Shards from Tusk, Snowball, Puck Coil, Puck Waning Rift, Witchblade slow. I mean, there's a lot of means to simply kind of annoy this Monkey King, keep him distracted as Weaver can really take over this game. Problem is, Radiant actually have a lot of stuns. Shaman, Hex, Shackle, Tiny has the Avalanche Toss combination, Marcy has Dispose. So potentially, if this Weaver has a rough game, it can be real rough. That's one of those if it rains, it pours type games on Weaver. So a lot of it's going to be contingent upon how Weaver does in the lane this game is this Weaver going to have a good lane? It is Weaver Wyvern taking on Viper and Marcy, actually. I actually kind of like that lane for Weaver, but it's one of those lanes that definitely could be very variant in that it could be very volatile. Like, you could see this Weaver catch an overextending Viper who overextends with, say, an early 4 or 5 stacks of poison attack, tries to go for the kill early on, leaves Shikuchi and have Viper take the creeps. Or alternatively, you just lose in the CS and you man up on Weaver. And Weaver, it's a very low stat carry, so potentially getting hit with a Viper could be quite bad, especially if Malphite's good about the Sentry Wards in that lane. So that is the lane I want to watch, is this bottom lane, this top lane, the Radiant Marcy Viper off lane playing into this Weaver Wyvern safe lane. But if you are just joining us, welcome to Game 2 of Sus taking on Boss Up. Boss Up won Game 1 in fairly dominant fashion. Turtle had a fantastic game on the Kunkka. Just in general, they played a very good game, very clean game into Sus. A couple lost team fights, but in general, it's a dominant performance by Boss Up. Sus, of course, want payback. They want to at least drag it to a 1-1 draw to even up the score for the night. My name is Badger. If you were looking for Teddy Dota, he is still out of internets. He will not be joining us to the best of my knowledge, so I apologize for fans of Teddy looking for Teddy. It will be just me. Thanks to hooligans in Teddy's neighborhood messing up his internet with incendiary and or explosive devices. But what can you do? Seems like we'll be seeing a little more of a quiet pre-horn game, though, this time around. We saw a 4v4 in this sort of location at the steps area last game. This time around, Radiant will walk in there and it will be relatively uncontested. Dire have this observer ward spotting out the movements, and understandably, Dire do not want to really be in this neck of the woods anymore. They will give up these 2 runes in exchange for getting the 2 runes elsewhere, so it will be 2 runes for 2 runes. A very even start to the game, but thanks to the movements by Dire, they gave away the fact that they had some vision, and Malphite gets that D ward off right away, so Dire are down both wards. And not only that, they actually have no vision at the runes or the middle lane. Their 1 ward is an off-ward bottom lane to give a bit of lane advantage, perhaps spot out some couriers at the far end of this obs ward. So potentially Turtle could be a slight disadvantage given the ward situation, but I'm sure he will be fine one way or the other. I mentioned a bit of Tiny Puck in the draft, but you know, I'm an idiot. You wanna know why I'm an idiot? I kept mentioning over and over again Weaver Wyvern versus Viper Marcy. The most important lane, the one I'm going to watch, the most exciting lane. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't watch the lane. You want to know what I missed because of it? First Blood. It goes to the Radiant, it was split by Marcy and Viper, which means more than likely the creeps end up getting that last hits on the Weaver. So perhaps there's a bit of man-fighting going on under the wave. Definitely could have caught the action. Simply didn't. Maybe. But yeah, we are seeing trading going on in a lot of different lanes. Top lane, Keita goes down. We're seeing some trades in the mid lane as well. Puck's incredibly low, but back to top lane again. It is Marcy again on the run. Will survive this time around. So it's 1 kill for 1 kill in this top lane. And that's where the fun is at. That's where a lot of the action is occurring. But in the river, you see Turtle deny the water rune, so KU wanted the water rune. Puck grabbed the bottom and then denied it top, so no water runes for KU on this Tiny. That's a big deal for this Puck. Obviously, Puck is probably, if not the best mid at controlling runes, certainly top 2, top 3, and you see Turtle there knowing that fact, using it to his advantage and making sure he gets actually both water runes. 1 deny, one in his bottle, but still. That's a major advantage for the Puck in that lane. If Tiny lacks the mana for the Avalanche toss sort of combination, then really, there's no threat for the Puck. Ooh, interesting attempt bottom lane. Grave kill into the shards, but the shards were off point from Rolls Golden. Ended up having a Shaman on the outside rather than the inside, meaning an easy escape for Kobe. Back to top, it's an attempt in on Bloom, but he's out of range of this Radiant side sentry where it doesn't reach all the way over to the left side of that lane. Instead, it's bottom lane where we are seeing foreplay being zoned away again by the Visage. This time the shards are on point into the tag team, plus the Grave Chill. But 2-man Boundless Strike, Jingu activated. Problem is your Monkey King is dead. Shaman will avenge, but at that point it's still a bad trade for the side of the Radiance. You get the kill second, and you only get the kill on the Tusk for your Monkey King, but it is better than no kill for the Radiance. Looking over at CS, nothing too wild and crazy quite yet. Bottom lane is remarkably even. Top lane is slightly in Weaver's favor, but relatively even as well. And in mid lane, Annie is ahead on CS, thanks to having a higher base damage, of course. Top lane, Dire will attempt on Malefic. They will bring him down, but Kaito wants vengeance, knowing Weaver and Chikuchi on cooldown committed to go in for this kill. It is a 1-for-1, and now Keita runs down Shane. Shane is low. Bottom lane as well. Fight is breaking out, it appears. But top lane, Keita still is running down Shane. One more hit will do it. Stick pop. Actually, good stick pop from Shane. Staying alive. And it turns out nothing happened bottom lane. Thought I saw something happening. But now stuff's happening. Shackles in from Kobe, looking for Zexy. Foreplay. Has only 2 stacks of that Jingu Mastery on the Visage, so seems like no kill quite yet there. Middle lane, you saw the avalanche from KU to damage Turtle, but nobody's dead. The death instead of top lane. Keita is extraordinarily low, but instead it's Shane who dies to the damage from, I believe, the corrosive skin from long range there. I think that was still in range. Regardless, the result is the same. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Keita gets the kill on Shane and ends up dying to Bloom on the Weaver, but Bloom is quite low. He's disposed in by Malefic. 2 kills for the Sus in the top lane. Suddenly it's a good trade there. Marcy the big winner, of course, but still paid before the Radiance. Seems like middle lanes where the action is occurring. Both teams are rotating in for that minute 6 rune. But before that happens, it's a coil plus shards play on the Tiny, but Tiny remains alive. Turtle has been disposed back, cannot find the orb kill on KU, but he will find the minute 6 rune. Leaving Rift in for Malefic. Malefic will D-ward. Tusk will zone away the Marcy as Turtle grabs double damage rune. KU is still nearby in this periphery, wants to go in, but I guess Dire win that's kind of. Dire really had all these heroes here congregated in the mid lane to get that minute 6 rune. Internal got the rune, so I guess mission accomplished, but I'm sure they wanted a kill. Instead, the kills are occurring in bottom lane, where Rose Golden and Zexy combine together, tag team up, and demolish the Shaman in very fast order there. Top lane, Viper has hit 6. Rebound in for Wyvern, and Wyvern has no way out. Bloom will attempt vengeance on Marcy, but will come short. He will have to return to hitting some lane creeps. He is down, though, by nearly a full level behind this Viper, which means Keita may attempt to play up a little bit, knowing Bloom cannot time-lapse. The one problem is Keita is low on mana. There's no Arcane Boots, Clarity, Mango, and of the sorts on either him or the Marcy, so no mana will beat if Viper to really go too wild and crazy. He even goes to the Intelligence Treads for a few more mana, but at that point Weaver knows he's fine. Once he dies right here, right now, he should get the 6 relatively safely. Who is not safe, though, is Tusk in this Radiant side jungle. Problem is, the Shackles were cancelled by the Visage Familiars. Meaning Shaman goes down and Turtle rotates in looking for foreplay. The coil has been staffed, but foreplay is being run at by 3 different heroes. Tiny will arrive, has the avalanche hitting on 2, toss in the air on Tusk, but Tusk has the range, a magic wand to keep him alive. Which means 2 kills for Dire, and they want a 3rd. They want KU. Shane rotates in, the Arctic Burn, the Splinter Blast to bring down KU, and now 4th, Viridian arrives. It is Malefic looking for Rose Golden, but no, he too will come up short. It will be 4 kills now for the side of Boss Up, and it's a bit of a cliche to call it the 1-by-1 walk in and die, but that was truly an example of walk in 1 at a time and die. Just a rough engagement there for Sus. They tried to save their buddy, but instead, all they find is a mass grave. What can you do?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We are back once again to sitting in the lanes and farming. Number one net worth is KU, but it is a relatively close pack towards the top. Tiny, Puck, Viper, Weaver, all very close to each other. Visage a bit behind, Monkey King further behind. And that is going to be one of the big deals for Radiant, is how do you get this Monkey King back in the game farm-wise? Him being this poor is bad. You need him to be less poor. And he has rotated top lane to be less poor, but it will take one step at a time, one day at a time to really get some farm up. Oh, big kill bottom lane in the Radiant side jungle. I didn't think they would get it. I thought Weaver could time-lapse in time, but no. Radiant knew they had just enough damage to bring down Bloom, and it will be a 1-for-1 across the map with Kobe dying in the entrance to the Dire side jungle, but that's a worthwhile 1-for-1. You lose your Shaman for a Weaver.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Back to our Monkey King situation. It seems like to accelerate his farm, he will go for the Maelstrom. I was curious, because there's a lot of options there, whether you go for this Diffusal Blade, or the Battle Fury, or the Maelstrom. He will opt for the Maelstrom this game. Middle lane's where the action's occurring, with a snowball in for a Maelstrom. Back to top lane, though, it's a gank from Visions and Bloom, looking for foreplay, and foreplay should still die. Has down the strike, but it'll miss the stun on both. And even if you had it on both the Weaver and the Wyvern, there is no escape. So that's 2 kills across the map for the side of Boss Up. Almost missed 1 kill trying to catch the other kill, but I called both. It worked out. What's also working out is Dire hunting for more kills. Seems like we might see an attempt on Shaman's Life top lane, but Kobe is positioned well. There are Dire heroes sitting over here, but getting all the way from here to here is a little bit difficult with foreplay TPing in, meaning that's it will only be 12 kills for the time being, but everything is good for Boss Up. They are up by 2k, they're up by 5 kills. They are up by a tower as well with this bottom T1 going down, so in every sort of metric, they are in a good spot. The one bad thing is that this Tiny could potentially be what Radiant need to turn it around. Problem is, KU's going for what I am going to dub the KU mid-Tiny build. You see a lot of mid-Tinies opt for the Blink Dagger first. But KU, you know, former carry player, relatively greedy player, he usually opts for the Echo over the Blink first on the Tiny. Meaning that he will not have a Blink Dagger for another, like, 2,700 gold if he goes for it right after the Echo Saber, so
Is under attack.
it's going to be a good while until KU has Echo plus Blink. So it'll be a little bit harder from the forced plays without having that Blink initiation. But obviously, Viper does not have Blink. Monkey King does not have Blink. Shaman's too poor for Blink, and even then might just go Shard over Blink.
Radiant's middle tower
So nobody has a way to initiate currently outside the Radiant. It's more of those, hey, walk up and do damage type things. But Dire are content with Radiant just trying to walk up and do damage. I mean, they have Visage, who is fantastic in that sort of style of Dota. Puck can easily get a lot of rounds of spells off with that style of Dota, so it'll be interesting to see how they take these fights. They are going to attempt on Puck. Puck's a 3-man coil. That's fantastic. Punch up, Malefic down. The Turtle remains alive. Avalanche toss in. Puck still is alive. The 3-man curse from Shane perfectly keeps Turtle in the fight. So now it's Malefic and KU dead. K2 will fall. And again, Turtle is gone on by Malefic, but he will not die. It's 4 more kills. It's a tieback even on the Marcy. A 5th kill with the Shaman going down. So that is a 5-for-0 trade with Dire claiming a mid T1 tower. This game is quickly snowballing out of control. It's a 4k lead at minute 13, and Dire are hitting a tier 2 tower.
Dire's top tower.
Seems like it's not going to die quite yet. It will be alive at half HP, but getting half a tier 2 tower at minute 13 means in the near future they could return there. Maybe if at minute 15 siege unit and get that extra half the tower dead. Hope to see how Boss Up end up maneuvering for the next 2 minutes or so. KU has finished his key item. He has bought the finished Echo Saber on the Tiny. Already went into the Blink versus Echo. I think I would prefer the Blink of the two, but KU prefers the Echo, and he has finished the Echo first. We are going to see Dire, instead of going for middle, we're going to put their attention towards the bottom lane. They do have Visage, who is very close to a Wraith Pact. So perhaps Zexy will farm this Wraith Pact up, and then Dire will ball his 5. We are going to see their first move, though, be a gank towards Tiny. But Tiny is one tanky rock. Shackles on Tusk will attempt to lock him down, but it will be the slows that finish the job. Rose Golden is dead, and KU brings down Turtle as well. So a bit of an errant fight there from Boss Up. Turns into 2 deaths and perhaps a 3rd death on Shane. Correction, definitely a 3rd death on Shane. So now, with Sus getting 3 kills, they have the option of objectives. They could have went for mid T1 or Roshan. They opt for the Roshan, likely the correct decision. The wards have been dropped by Kobe, and that will be the Aegis going to probably KU on that Tiny. Dire even scanned there at the very end, but at that point, you're a little bit too late. Like, alright, I've scanned it, but it's... it's dead. There's no stopping that one. Maelstrom has been finished on the Monkey King, but looking over some items on this Dire side, I am not exactly sure how Bloom is itemizing, but it's interesting because it's Falcon Blade, Wraithband plus Tread. That's a lot of stats. Then he has a Perseverance, which obviously can build into an item like Lincoln's, but he did not finish it, so it's casual regen right now. And he's opted for the Maelstrom into BKB afterwards. Maybe it's finished the Lincoln's after BKB, perhaps. That's a really interesting item build. It is bottom lane, though, where the action's occurring. Zexy had Familiars and the Wraith back. But Radiant will punish him for his pushing. Visage will fall. And this bottom tier 2 is not dead. It's at about 1/10 HP. Correction, it's 1 health from exactly 1/10 HP, but it remains alive, and that is a lot of gold being given by the Visage from something being that farmed over there. Nearly a 1k swing from that death. So now Radiant are only down by 2k. They have the Aegis as well, so I'm sure they're emboldened to force some kind of play. And I mentioned how KU likely wouldn't have a Blink Dagger until a good bit after that Echo Saber, but given the way the last 3 minutes have gone for the Radiance team, KU has a 17-minute Blink Echo. So suddenly, it's like, alright, his Blink Dagger isn't that delayed because he's just that farmed. He's #1 net worth by a fairly safe margin right now, which means KU is going to be how Radiants are going to win this game in the near future. He is the single strongest hero on the map right now, and if he's making the right shot calls, making the right plays, there's a lot of opportunities to take this Dire side lead and turn it into a Dire side deficit, perhaps. Or at the very least, pretty closer to 0 with this Aegis duration. Speaking of the Aegis, it is half duration remaining. Radiant have 3 in the bottom lane, but this, I think they have an idea the Radiant are not as 5. It is currently a 3v3, but it is a 4th from the Dire on the Rendezvous, being that Wyvern. Wyvern may run into Shaman, perhaps? Perhaps. Perhaps not. So it will be 3 Radiant heroes on the defense as Dire again go towards this very compromised tier 2 tower. It still is 1/10 HP. The Familiars will kill it. KU actually blinked in to save this tower. The Familiars are still hitting, and the tower will fall. And now Dire will begin their fight, looking towards KU. But KU has 2.5k HP and 2 lives. The first one won't even be cracked, and now they will walk away as 4. So Dire get the objective they came for. They wanted the tier 2 tower. They got it. They'll parlay it over into this outpost. But Radiant have smoked. Blink and Avalanche on 3. Oh my, this is a fantastic initiation. The Weaver so low. This is the Weaver going to die. The Weaver, no! The time lapse. And now Curse on 3. The perfect turn. Malavik dead. Kobe dead. Keita in the shards. Grave Chill on KU. Keita will TP. It will not be successful. It's a 4-man Avalanche into an escape from KU. He will TP away in time. But what a fantastic turnaround from Boss Up.
Is under attack.
Thus, could not finish the kill on Wyvern. He time-lapsed. You throw all that, the Tusk spells, Puck spells, and a fantastic, perfect 3-man curse from Shane. It just went so badly for Sus, and this Aegis timer is only 45 seconds remaining, so which means that Radiance really do not have the time to force out any more fights before it expires, unless you force a fight middle lane right now. So again, Dire's timing has been delayed by the Aegis being lost, but at this point you farm it up for the next anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes until that second Roshan respawns, and you just you continue your action. Maybe they begin to take control of this Radiant side Tricamp as they're doing now, push in the lane top, put eyes on T1 and T2 top lane. And if any heroes like KU walk into this area, then you can attempt to go for a kill. But KU is still one very hard nut to crack. And Dire will not even attempt to go on him. But both teams seem to be relatively content with the farming currently.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Dire may have their middle T1 come under attack. Radiant have the minute 20 siege unit and the mass serpent wards. Dire have glyphed, but Dire also have smoked. Zexy will grave chill Keita. Rebound gives the move speed, but Viper certainly will fall. Dire want more. Coil will cancel the TP of Marcy. It is only a 1-man Coil, but it is still a second kill from this smoke gank. I believe Dire saw Shaman, but they instead moved their attention towards foreplay, the harder kill, but the more significant kill if they get it. But they cannot get it. Foreplay TP's away in time. The one TP cancel in range would have been that Coil, but Coil was... I guess Curse is low. Both of them were on cooldown. Tusk not in range for the snowball in that case. But still, 2 kills to the Dire, 1 on a core Viper, 1 on support Marcy, and now you sweep through the map. You've been at the Tricamp recently. Now you go all the way through the river, up through this Radiant side jungle. You again begin to choke the map out. One hero who got through the blockade was Tiny, who is currently farming this Dire side jungle, but I think if you're Dire, you're very content with the state of the game. You're now up by 7k gold, and
Dire's courier.
every minute that passes under the current game state, that lead will slowly grow. Shaman's Courier might die. They'll die. You see a snowball in for Shaman, and Shaman, poor Shaman, there is no escape but death. I guess if you want any one hero to die, though, on the Radiant side, it will be Shaman. He is the lowest net worth hero, therefore, in that sense, the probably least significant kill to give up. We are seeing Bloom hunt for more kills. He is coming up on a BKB, which will be nice. KU is going for a cheeky play. He cut the middle lane, but Rose Golden is there. Ice Shards keep KU in place. Turtle has arrived, and Turtle has Coil, which means unless KU can kill the Puck, there is no way out. He will kill the Tusk, that is at least a consolation prize, but he knows he cannot escape. He knows he must die. And it is an unfavorable 1v1 in terms of straight gold, but in terms of map pressure, he did force 4 members of the Dire team towards this sort of area of the map, allowing Monkey King to go top lane, allowing Shaman to deward his own Tricamp, allowing Viper to farm the Radiant side jungle. So at the very least, Radiant gets something out of KU's death. But seems like Dire want more. They see Shaman top lane, and well, again, Shaman dying. Poor Kobe. That is his 7th death of the game, and well, what can you do?
Radiant
Courier of Foreplay dies as well, was hiding in the trees for... I don't know why, but it's dead now. Key items are being purchased. We have a full Aghanim Scepter on KU. He actually disassembled the Echo Saber to make sure he had that Ags. He will Tree Volley to kill one of Xerxes' Familiar's middle lane. The other one remains alive and it will run away from the danger. Dire again put their eyes towards that second Roshan of the game, but is a relatively late... Oh. She was disposed in by Malefic. A bit too aggressive there on that middle T2 Sour Siege from the Visage and just got absolutely blasted by the Marcy and company in that 5v1. I was looking at the minimap. I didn't even recognize it as bad. I'm like, oh yeah, Radiance group, they're gonna smoke or something. All is well. No, they're just all killing the Visage. Sus want more. They smoke up S5. Check Roshan. Roshan remains dead, but Dire actually scanned the pits, so they know Radiant are somewhere in this area. Perhaps they knew that they actually walked into Roshan and left it, given the way the scan turned out. KU kills the mid T1 again. Radiant pop their heads into Roshan. They want this Roshan. They know it can be alive, but sometimes there's RNG in a skill-based game, and the luck on the respawn simply not in their favor. Meaning that now it's Dire smoking up as 3. It's Visage, Tusk, and the Wyvern smoked up. Tusk has the Blink Dagger. Can go for a play. Smoke has popped. Blink in. Punch on Shaman. Marcy will attempt the save, but that will be futile. Good attempt from Malefic, but still a death there on Kobe. And now Dire again. They too will put their heads into the Roshan pit. Like, hey, is Roshan alive yet, guys? No, it's still dead. It's now going to respawn, but both teams have been baited by the allure of Roshan, and both have come up short so far. Blink in by Tusk, looking for foreplay, but he's been saved by Malefic for the time being, so no harm, no foul, everyone is A-okay. And now Dire are, as a whole, playing Radiant Tri-Camp, but it's a little bit of a split. Bloom is playing into this Radiant side jungle. The main objective appears to be that middle T2 tower, but again, Xerxes' birds are dead. The Tree Volley has killed them, and now, again, the dispose on Xerxes. Xerxes is nobody saved by the Cold Embrace. Marcy has fallen, and now Dire turn to a kill on Monkey King. Both Radiant heroes buy back. Tree Volley almost kills Xerxes, but he has that shard. He's stone formed himself. Hex on Puck into a 2-man down the strike, and again, the Cold Embrace, and then a 5-man curse from Shane! What a perfect curse! Turtle is dead, but Dire still want to fight. Problem is they've lost their Puck. Man, that's actually really unfortunate that a curse that perfect resulted in gains that little, but what can you do in Dota sometimes? This T2 is still dead. Radiant did have to buy back on 2 heroes, including the buyback on Monkey King. This even further hurts his economy still. He is 6th in net worth. I mentioned he was 6th in net worth coming out of the lanes, and well, thanks to that buyback, he's back from 5th to 6th in net worth again, which is very unfortunate for foreplay. And now, at long last, Roshan finally respawns. Like, hey buddy, slept in there, maybe you didn't get the alarm, but this time Dire have spotted it. Problem is, Radiant are there as well. Tree Volley into 5th, plus these Serpent Wards to scout. Roshan's incredibly low. Who's going to get the Aegis here? Dire smoke up. Roshan is incredibly low still. And now it's dead. KU gets it. Shard goes to foreplay. Weaver will get hexed, but scooted in time. Blink in by rolls golden, but he'll snowball instead towards KU. Punch in the air. Tiny's half HP. Cold Embrace on the Tusk. Same for now. Bloom is in the middle of the action, but he perfectly time lapses into a 3-man call from Turtle, into a 4-man curse from Shane again. Turtle rolls Golden, they're both dead, but down goes Marcy. Dire move to foreplay. Foreplay has no buyback, but he has BKB and the Jingu Mastery. He'll get stacks on Zexy as Bloom dissecates his damage over time, and now again Radiant moves to Visage. Somehow they turn the fight around entirely. I mean, this point it's the Wyvern, the lone survivor in a 1v4. There will be no possible way out for Shane. It's a full 5-man wipe for Sus. Wow, I still am absolutely baffled that the fight turned around the way it did, but
Dire's middle tower is
despite Dire again, big coil, big Winter's Curse, they simply lacked the sustain, and with that second life on KU in that fight, well, it's proving very difficult to get through 7,000 HP of Tiny. That's a lot of HP.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I'm looking back at my other monitor, which has a 2-minute delay from the sort of stream delay. 2 minutes ago, it was a 10k lead for the side of Boss Up. It was a 10k lead. The lead is now less than 1k. In 2 minutes, 1 team fights. That right there is how you turn around a Dota game. What? But Sus, they know the stove is hot. It is time to do some cooking. They again smoke up S4. It is time to apply some more pressure. KU leads the way. Smoke has some pop. Blink Avalanche in on the Tusk into a 2-man bounce back on the back lines. Visions will Shane curse on 2 heroes, but it will not matter. He is still dead. And now it is Zexy being hexed by Shaman. Shaman will fall to foreplay as simply 2 more kills for Sus. And lo and behold, it is a net worth lead. For the first time since, what is that, minute 6? What a turnaround. And we're actually going to be headed high ground. It's time to go on for the high grounds. Siege unit is there for the Radiance. Shaman got some mana from his Tiny via the bottle. He can, and I'm sure will, drop the Masked Serpent wards, and just like last game, it is Shaman leading a big push in the Dire side middle lane. And again, much like last game, the Radiant side Shaman will claim the middle racks quite early into the game. And again, this is an oddly similar game now to the way that the game state that the game 1 had at this stage of the game, in which you have this current strategy where you're just trying to ball out of control and apply the pressure with a very tanky middle laner who cleaves, this time Tiny instead of Kunkka. You have this relatively maneuverable carry, this time Monkey instead of Bloodseeker. And you have the Shaman, and you're running it down as 5, and you're just succeeding at getting this objective-based Dota. But Boss Up, they do not want to sit back and do nothing. They've again smoked up, this time as 4. Tree Volley will not kill the familiars of Zexy. And Radiant will leave Dire Tricamp. Coil will hit only on Keita. He'll BKB to break it. Dire will get jumped on by foreplay. He will Wukong's in BKB looking for Tusk. Will snowball over to Marcy. Marcy will fall, as will Shaman. The foreplay is doing a ton of damage. The bash on Rolls Golden brings him down, and now it is a 2-for-1, but Radiant still maintain all 3 cores. Turtle blinks in for foreplay. Foreplay is silenced. He's low, and he has nothing remaining left to fight with. He too is dead. 3 deaths on the Radiant side. Tiny attempts to TP away. It will not work. Viper will succeed in TPing away, but the biggest kill you possibly can get if your Boss Up has been claimed. The Tiny has fallen. The Rolling Stone, at long last, is gathering moss. And again, Boss Up claim a 3.5k plus net worth swing. Need some damn water.
middle tower is under attack.
Lincoln by Turtle finds the Marcy. Marcy's incredibly low in the coil. He committed to kill the Marcy. Malphite is dead. And that is a dieback. He bought back in the fight. I think it was 3 or 4 fights ago. It's still on cooldown for a minute remaining. Which means Monkey King also has no buyback. He too bought back in that fight where Marcy bought back. So Tiny lacks the gold. The other 2 heroes lack the cooldowns. So Dire can start chunking massive pieces out of this Radiant side base. The bottom barracks are fully gone. The mid racks seem to be joining them in that same spot, and that will be the rubble pile. The entire set of mid racks is dead. So that's 2 racks claimed by the Dire side. They're now up by a set of racks. They have equalized the equilibrium in the middle lane. Both teams have a full set there, and now they have an advantage in this bottom lane where they are up the full set of barracks. So we're at the point now where if you're boss up, this game plan is incredibly obvious. You play Radiant Tri-Camp, you push in top lane. If the mid lane becomes a problem, you push in mid lane. You play right here until Roshan respawns. You'll walk in there, you take that 3rd Aegis and the cheese and either the free Ags or that pressure shard, and you win the game. And if you're sus, you basically have to ask yourself, well, how do we stop exactly that from happening? And the answer will be a smoke attempt as 4. It's 4 playing KU in the trees. They're hiding, getting ready for big plays. They're all waiting in these trees. Dire don't have an onboard to spot out these movements, but they know where they want to be. It's the high ground sitting over at the triangle, chilling it out. Radiant now see Visage and the Tusk having a presence in the area. Now Tusk will ward, giving vision on KU temporarily, but Radiant back all the way from in vision to out of vision. And they will entirely return as 5 to their base. Dire can begin to move towards the T2 tower if they so want to. And that appears to be the case. Bloom and Zexy and the Siege unit are there. And the T2 tower will fall. We are seeing some more large items being purchased. A full Scotty, notably finished on Bloom. And even then, Orchid boots a bearing on Visage. Full Kaya Sanj plus 4k gold on Puck. These cores are incredibly farmed. Even Wyvern has an Aghanim Scepter. He's an Aghanim Scepter. We're at the point now where Dire have a lot of key items on 4 heroes. And Radiance really still lack that much money on anyone not called Tiny. Sure, you have at least something on foreplay in that BKB Basher, but he wants the full Scotty. He's still short. Viper wants a full AC. He's well short of that. So Dire, still, that's a very early Roshan respawn. We saw earlier in the series the very bad luck Roshan respawn hurt both teams, but this time the very early Roshan respawn will benefit the side of Boss Up very, very heavily. It will be a free Roshan. Radiance knew something like this could happen. They smoked up as 5, but Roshan did not help them in that sense. Roshan is already dead. It is that 3rd Roshan of the game. We see the Pressure Shard to Turtle. We see the Aegis on Bloom and the Cheese also on Bloom. So if you are sus, it is time to make a big play to turn the game around. The game is slowly and ever so slowly being lost. But it seems like Dire want to finish the job. They want to go for the Megas with their 6 lives plus cheese. Wave top has been making slow progress. KU has Daedalus and the Tree Volley. So he is quite powerful in that sense. He is going for a Rapier on the Tiny, which could be the damage that the Radiant need to win these fights. Potentially. Now, though, neither team is farming that much of the map. Radiant sit in their base, Dire sit outside the Radiant base. And both teams anticipate potential mishaps. Seems like it's boss up this time to the ones that want to force the issue. They're smoking up as 5, sweeping to the south, looking for kills. They see foreplay, blink, punch, snowball, swarm, orchid, Wukong turn, foreplay, will bounce back on 2, but no, he's simply dead. There's too much damage. Marci will fall. Foreplay buys back. The Marci of Malefic can buy back. But you are slowly running out of weapons in your arsenal. That's a big buyback loss, and you have more. Everybody on the Radiant but Shaman, and now at this point Monkey King still has buyback. But Dire to have all 5 buybacks. Marci will use her buyback. Now it's only 2 buybacks left for the Radiant. 1 on Viper and 1 on Tiny. Those 2 are the ones currently in the top lane, deflecting whatever push they can. Bloom hits. But Dire move to foreplay. They know foreplay has BKB on cooldown. They commit everything for the kill on foreplay. They want this kill desperately, but he's dead to the Orchid Afterburn. Shackles on Puck, but Puck is absolutely fine. Curse, this time only on 2, but it does not matter. Coil on top. Dire commit in. They break the Radiant Spirit. KU dead. Kobe dead. Kobe buys back. But at this point, Radiant are losing everything. Marci has diebacked. Tiny has bought back. But Radiant know the game is lost. They have called GG. And Boss Up will win the series 2-0 over Sus. You know, like game 2 was a lot better than game 1. I'm happy game 2 happened. Game 1 was kind of meh, but game 2, that was one good game. Good ability usage, good back and forth game, some good individual performances from the likes of Shane and Turtle. Good team performances from both teams, really, but obviously better from Boss Up given they won the game. Obviously, KU had a fantastic series, but apparently not fantastic enough today. An unfortunate result for Sus. They dropped the series 0-2. They moved to 8 wins and 8 losses. Boss Up move up to 8 wins and 6 losses, so they're looking pretty good now. Look at this graph. That's a graph right there. Look at this graph. We see the blue-colored line, the Tiny line. It's probably the most notable line of the game, given he was, for the majority of this game, the #1 net worth hero. But you could juxtapose the other 2 cores. For most of this game, Puck was the most farm core of the Dire. So look at the second and third most farm cores of the game being the Dissident and Weaver. You compare it to the Monkey King and the Viper. That's a lot of the problem right there, is you're just seeing them behind by a somewhat significant margin for pretty much all of the game. As you see this delta between these other Radiant cores and these Dire cores. Sure, Tiny was the very farmed man, but alas, poor KU, it did not work. Now, though, we are going to wrap it on up. Thank you to Teddy for coming on for game 1. It's a shame his internet completely went out after game number 1, thanks to some unfortunate circumstances. But what can you do sometimes? We are going to be back soon. I'm not quite sure when, but I'm sure it will be soon for some more lads casting. There are some lads matches on the coming days. Maybe I'll be there for the one on. I'm not sure. I'm kind of unavailable for some of those casts, but we'll see what I can do. Obviously, if you want to get into casting, there are some open casts this week. Go put it in a checkbox, try it up. Maybe I'll watch, but for now, Comedy cast your games, cast your tournaments. Contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2, or on Discord, Badger number 5713. If you want to hire me and Logical to cast your pro tournaments, your DPC events, things of that nature, contact me at the same places. We are ready and able to be hired. I assure you, we are an upgrade over your casters, and we are ready to go. Yeah. Other than that, I am going to send a raid somewhere, not quite sure yet, but to the viewers, as always, thank you for tuning in, and have a great night.